All right, guys, Shotty T here. We are in the middle of day one against our versus opponent, and right now we're slightly behind, but we still got some tricks in our sleeves to come from behind here. But this video is not about that. Day two, of course, is the the building day. So I have a building that's ready to open once I get there, and I have another one that's underway that's going to be done in 10 hours right here. So, but the title of this video, this has been a much anticipated video, is about the champs. What champs to rank up? What are the best champs in the game? So, as you guys know from my previous video, there are three different rarities of champ. You got your blue ones, which are rare. You have your purple ones, which are epic slash super rare. And then you have your super rare. And then you have your orange ones, which are your legendary slash ultra rare, which is UR. So when you first start in the game, you get these blue ones, and you have to kind of clear the map to open up your HQ base and expand it slowly but surely. So naturally you're gonna have those, but once you get to a certain stage, once you get that done, you don't want to focus on them anymore. From that point, you want to focus on your purples and your yellows. Now the yellows, a lot of these, most of you guys probably don't have all of them, or probably even a handful of them. This guy, I'm pretty sure everybody has him because you can get him easily in the game for free. So a lot of people, I anticipate, have that. She used to be one that you have to purchase for 99 cents when you get on the game, but she's now in the free-to-play pool. I think all of these champs are in the free-to-play pool except for this guy, and I believe she might go in there this week. We'll see. But all the other ones that you see on this list, and of course he's not in there either, but and he's not either. So you got one, looking at the first row, you got the second and the fourth one, which is Murphy and Kimberly. And then on the second row, you have everyone except for the first guy. They're in the free-to-play pool. And then on that third row, you currently have the second and the third person on that row. But this week it might add some more champs. We'll see when we get to that ticket day. All right. But it goes without saying, you definitely want to rank these guys up first when you have them. The more stars, the better, obviously. Now, when you first get them, if they're like at 0 stars or 1 star, some of these purple champs are probably better than those to start off. But as you accumulate more star levels on these champs, they're going to be the ones you're going to focus on moving forward. All right, so let's look at the purple champs, because the purple champs is what majority of you guys have. They're easily obtained through the ticket store. Some you can get in higher rarities than others. When you first start the game, you get a lot of her, because in the Alliance store, you can pretty much get her for shards all the time on a weekly basis. So you can get up to 30 of her every week. But I'm at the stage where I no longer need to invest in her. But for those that are new, because I did use that quite a bit early on, and to get all her shards. All right, but she's not necessarily the best tank purple defender in the game. There are like at least 2, maybe 3 that are better than her, but because you get so much of her and you can easily get higher star levels, naturally she's going to be near the top of the list just because it's kind of forced upon you. And she actually does pretty good damage for a tank champ, for a defender. She's probably the best attacking defender probably in the whole game. Like if you just compare apples to apples, at least currently. There might be some new champs that haven't come in the game yet that are legendary that might be better, the attackers, because that poison gas does some pretty good damage. All right, but anyway, the best defender at this class level is Scarlet. You can get her quite a bit as well. I was able to invest a lot of stars in her skill points, and once you get to 5 stars, they go into the wall of honor for your classes. I have two that are there under the tank variety, and you find out by going here, clicking that star. So these are the two there, and then once you get there, you can actually use more shards to have more attack for heroes, but I'm not going to use that on those just yet. I'm going to try to fill out this guy first, but we're going to talk about him shortly. So she's the best defender, and if you guys remember the previous video, defender champs are the ones that have that shield next to them on their name. And the second best one, believe it or not, is Elsa. She is a missile defender. You see that icon next to that shield. And again, remember, you got 3 class of champs. You got your tanks, you got your missiles, and you got your aircraft. The best aircraft epic defender would be this guy. So, and the purpose of having that versatility is because there are class advantage and disadvantage for every class. I put in a previous video, it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors. I look at tank as your rock, your missiles as your scissors, and your aircraft as your paper. So rock beats scissors. So tank has the class advantage over missiles. Scissors beat paper. So missiles has the class advantage over aircraft. Paper beats rock. So that means aircraft has the class advantage over tanks. So depending on your opponent, whenever you're facing someone in an arena, or if you're having an outside mission or anything of that nature, or even a campaign, look at the opposition, and so you can formulate your champs or your proper defenders based off of what you're facing to give yourself the most durability and attack. So that's what you gotta know there. As far as the best attacking epic champ, it would be this guy. Again, you can get a lot of him early on. He carried me through a lot of phases in the game. He was actually considered my favorite champ in the game until I learned about the legendary champ. I had put so many stars in this guy, and really at a higher star level, and this is the prime example where if you got a legendary champ that only has like 0 and 1 stars, that's an attacker. Mason is actually a better attacker than them up until they get to like 3 stars and above. So once your legendary champs get to 3 stars and above, then Mason drops down from that standpoint. Another great attacker is this guy here. He's the best aircraft attacker from this class. He has a pretty good skill once you get to 4 stars, is that there's a 100% chance to stun the target for 1 second. So you can literally take out one defender for a second, and those seconds count when it comes to close matchups. The best missile attacker, I would say, is Venom. Of course, I don't have him highly upgraded yet, but he's a pretty good attacker there. And another good tank attacker who might be actually better than Mason is Richard. I'm slowly starting to put more resources into him as well. So, and again, this is for people that don't have like deep accounts, because again, for these legendary champs, you have to either buy them if you want them, get them right away, or you have to grind the tickets to get them eventually. But most of you guys will likely have a lot of purple champs. I'm just letting you know these are the champs you want to focus on. This guy, I probably wouldn't invest as much in him nor her. And this guy, I would only invest in him after you've put resources into the other tank guys, which are Richard and Mason, because this guy only becomes relevant once you get to 4 stars. Because he fires 4 missiles with his special attack. When you get to 2 stars, it adds 2 more missiles. But when you get to 4 stars, there are 2 more missiles. It's kind of like a Kimberly in a way. The damage scale is not as high as Kimberly, but it can be pretty decent when you do that with him. All right, so, and she's a support character, has a unique skill to where you can put her on the front row, and it makes the back row people better when you fighting against zombies. But as the difficulty goes higher, she's just gonna be somebody that's gonna die quick, and then it's useless to your back row people. So, either, so really, she's kind of pointless in a way. But again, if you got no other choice, you have to kind of go with what you got. But pretty much everyone from this guy all the way to her are probably going to be your primary focus. And again, this guy as well, if you don't have missiles of the legendary variety, because obviously you got some pretty good missile attackers. This is the best missile attacker. The best defenders, you got these two guys here from the legendary class. And then from the aircraft, currently the best attacker is DVA, but this new person that you see on the upper left hand corner, I'm not going to click it yet because that's going to waste 10 shards. I got to save that for later in the week. Is Morrison. I believe Morrison is going to be the best aircraft attacker in the game. That's why I got him. So I'm going to have a back row unit of him, her, and this girl here. And then, even though she's not a great defender, for synergy purposes, I would have to put her on the team along with him, so that'll make up my aircraft unit. And we'll talk about team setup in probably another video. But as far as the main thing is make sure you don't do anything with these blues. Just leave them alone. After they do what you need to do to clear round for your HQ, because these are the champs that you get to start the game, just shift your attention away from them. The only use that these guys have pretty much moving forward is star level, because you get so many duplicates of these champs. And whenever you get more star levels, you can upgrade them only when you're doing the training heroes event, because you get points towards the versus for that whenever you use one rare shard. So that's the only use they really have at this point. You don't want to use skill points on them. You don't want to use your experience points on them. So just don't waste, because I've seen some people that have like level 90 of these blue champs. That's just totally is a waste. Any of these purple champs are at level 90 is better than these at the bottom. Like, you just want to stay away from those. So really this video is just making sure that you're ranking up the right people, using up the right resources so you can be more efficient at the game, especially if you're a free-to-play player. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like I said, all of these legendary champs are great. All right, so you can't go wrong with any of these. But the ones that you see that are 4 stars and above, in my opinion, are the best ones to have. Pretty much everyone that's on the first 2 rows. All right, just keeping it simple. Those are the ones you definitely want to have. She's, like I said, she's pretty decent. And then this guy, I don't have him. I didn't get him last week, but he's currently the best aircraft defender in the game. But you would need a full aircraft team to make it work. But again, it can work if you have them along with the other 3 aircraft attackers that I talked about. But guys, let me know if you have a different setup recommendation on what you use for that and the purpose of it. But this is just my list, of course. But as you can see, legendary champs are the ones that you ultimately want to focus on long term, because as you can see, my highest level epic champ is level 110. All of my legendary champs are above 110. So ultimately you want to focus on them when you get them. All right. And again, you can get them as a free-to-play player in this store here. And I don't know why my game is so laggy. All these graphics. All right. But you get them here. All right. When you recruit heroes, every time you get to 50, you guaranteed to get a legendary hero unless it's a duplicate. So in between that, you might get shards of some of these legendary champs. But once you get to 50, you're guaranteed to get it. So you got to do what you can to accumulate those. You can rob trucks to do so. Obviously, you can dispatch trucks to do so. So there are different ways to get tickets, do your missions, help your teammates out with alliance loots here. So just a lot of different stuff, because these little things here could have stuff in there, as well as your daily arms races. You get 3 boxes here, you get 6 tickets. So just make sure you follow the objectives for every 4 hours. I have some work to do with my stamina here, but I will maximize that before this 2 hours and 30 seconds is over. 30 minutes. So anyway, guys, that was a longer video than anticipated, but that's what you want to do there. Focus on legendary first and foremost, but in case you don't have the deep account, you saw what purple champs you want to focus on first. All right, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I'll see you later.